What's up, my Sweetwater folk? How y'all doing out there? This is Tristen again with Serenity Impact. I'm just here to start our first lesson, honestly. So, again, let's get right into it. So, today, guys, we're doing the introduction to PTND and communication skills. All right, so the introduction to it, PTND, what is it? That is Project Towards No Drugs. It is designed to provide you with, all the information so that you're equipped to make, efficient and better, decisions, but you have the understanding to do so. All right. So a disclaimer, uh, I'm not here to tell you what you can do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I'm simply here to provide you with information so that you can make those decisions for yourself. All right. So I don't want to make anyone feel like I'm trying to shove something down your throat. That's not what this is at all. All right. I'm just sharing information. So this is a 12 session program. All right. Some of the lessons that this will incorporate is chemical dependency and family, myths and denials. But we're not just simply focused on the drug and I guess you could say the drug abuse or anything related to drugs. This also has to do with life skills such as effective communication, which is something we'll be learning today, self-control, and decision making. All right. So I have a couple of ground rules. All right. Nothing you probably haven't heard before, but it's something that has to be implemented so that we're all on the same basis. So keep an open mind. All right. While you're hearing and receiving different information, at first take, it might rub you the wrong way. It might make you think about something you don't want to think about, or it just might not be something that you're interested in. But overall, guys, if you don't have an open mind, you won't be able to receive anything, not just with this, but in life in general. You won't be able to receive things as full as they come if your mind's clouded or you're narrow minded. Okay. So there is no such thing as a bad question. Please ask questions. If you have a question, your teacher can't answer it, have your teacher email me and I'll gladly answer that question. All right. So don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm a firm believer that closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't speak up, nobody will ever hear you and nobody will ever know, right? And then lastly, respect. And I think this is something that all across the board, everybody wants and everybody, I believe, is entitled to have. I do believe that you earn respect, but I also believe that when you first meet people, you should give them your respect. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to give you guys my respect. So have respect for yourself, for those around you, and most importantly, what we discuss or what happens in this classroom stays in this classroom. If you have somebody that speaks up about a situation, don't go spill their business out to the rest of the school or to, your friends in another class. Let that sit in this class. Let it stay here. Everyone should be able to have their privacy. All right, so now we're going to get down to the meat of things, communication. The very basis of all of this. Does anyone know two of the greatest things you can do in life? Two of the greatest things you can do in life is to give and to receive. All right. I don't know if any of you heard that before, but it kind of ties right into the foundation, if you will, of what is communication. Sending and receiving messages. All right. Now, listening. Why is it so difficult at times to listen to what other people have to say? All right. And there's a slew of things. It's not just one thing. So distractions. All right. You got something going on in the room. You're sitting in class right now. Your friend's, hitting their pencil against the desk and you're looking over at them instead of looking at me right now or listening to what I'm saying. People talk too much. Sometimes, more words isn't necessarily the best thing, and that can bore people. It can, help you lose your concentration because there's just too much information or too much feedback coming. And then the conversation itself may not interest you, which is pretty common, honestly, because if it's not something you're interested in, you're less likely to even want to acknowledge that thing or give it your time. And then lastly, or you're already brewing up things in your head to respond to what the person is talking about. You've already got your idea of what you have to say. You're just like, come on, get to the point so I can say what I have to say. You're not really listening at that point. You're just waiting to react, if that makes sense. All right. So I want for everyone to think about a recent conversation that you had with someone that you knew they were not listening. Okay. I'll give you a moment to think about that. What did the person do to let you know that he or she was really not interested in what you were saying? Avoided eye contact, leaned away from you. You know, you're talking to someone and they're just kind of like, oh, yeah, I don't. All right, looking everywhere else but at you. You know, I notice a lot of times that people have hard time, focusing and looking somebody in their eye, and it makes them, for some people, it makes them feel uncomfortable. But what we're not realizing is when we don't give somebody that acknowledgement, it can come off a different way, such as people feeling like, they're not heard, or they're not listened to, or even value themselves less because they feel like what they're saying is not important. All right. And now we're going to do the opposite. Now I want everyone to think about a conversation with an individual of which they knew they were listening to you. All right. Now, on the I guess you say in retrospect, what did this person do to let you know that he or she was listening? We're doing the exact opposite of what we were doing before, right? Keeping eye contact. They're facing you. You position yourself towards somebody, because if you're talking to me and I'm doing this number right here, does it look like I'm listening to you? Probably not. It comes off rude. All right. Keeping themselves from doing other things. You ever been talking to someone and they're just like, they got everything else to be doing right now, but they're there, but they're not really listening. That's how it feels, right? And then in addition to this, it probably made you feel good or heard or appreciated or even understood. All because not what the person was saying, but what they were doing, how they were communicating to you without even saying anything, but by showing you that acknowledgement, that respect, right? So, effective communication skills. Has anyone ever been told you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason? I know I got told that a lot growing up. And I promise you guys, I'm not telling you this now to, simply say, oh, you need to be quiet or anything like that. That's not really what the saying means, all right? The reason that, and a lot of times you get told this by adults, a lot of times when adults tell you this, they're trying to tell you that if you spend all your time doing this, you're never going to receive and even say have the opportunity to understand what's being presented before you, what's being said before you, if you got your mouth running just at 100 miles per hour all the time. So you may or you will miss out on important information, as well as cause others to ward their ears from what you're saying. Because obviously, if somebody knows that you're not paying attention or you're not listening because you're doing this number the whole time, 9 times out of 10, the person probably isn't going to respect or want to hear what you have to say in turn, So that kind of rolls us over to what is selective hearing. All right. Selective hearing, easily simply said, you hear what you want, and that's really all there is to it. But hearing what we want to hear, a common mistake is allowing our own beliefs, thoughts, and ideas to affect what is really being said. All right, so that altogether rolls back up to being open-minded, okay? Because again, if you've got a cloudy mind, if you've got all these things invading your mind while something else is trying to, interject and come in, obviously you're not going to receive it the same. You're going to miss out on little important details. So being willing to listen and not judge and see other viewpoints is what it means to be open-minded. All right. So why is it important, you might ask? Because you may actually learn something if you do this. I can't say it's 100% guaranteed, but you have a definite opportunity at receiving and at understanding something if you're just listening. Okay. And I put down here the law of the universe. Okay. So the law of the universe, or gravity, if you will, is what goes up must come down, right? Well, I believe that as far as ourselves and learning. If you're not always continuously trying to be a better version of yourself, if you're not always trying to better yourself or learn something new to achieve a higher understanding, well, by default, if you're not going up, you're not increasing yourself, then you're going down. Your energy is getting lower. Your thought processes are getting slower. Your ideas are not coming out as quick. Okay, so we have to constantly be trying to learn something in order to continue to gain. So, what does it mean to be closed-minded or narrow-minded? Well, we got open-minded. Close is the exact opposite, right? So being closed-minded, you don't get the most out of what people are trying to say because, again, you're clouded. So now sometimes communication can be unclear, or we can send mixed signals, and those can look like thinking of other things while somebody is talking. So again, kind of like, the person who's waiting to react and say what they have to say before the person has even finished their sentence. You've already got something going on in your head. Or let's say that, I don't know, maybe you forgot to eat your breakfast this morning. So you're thinking about, eating food while your friend's talking to you. Your mind's probably more so on what your body's concentrated on versus what somebody's saying to you. Not sticking to the topic at hand. When you have people who are talking about XYZ while this person's talking about ABC, y'all are on two different pages, So making sure that you're on topic, that whomever is speaking is on topic. Our words not matching our action. That's a big one right there. Okay. Because mixed signals, again, this is the basis of communication. It goes for everything. It goes for your personal relationships, the relationship with yourself. It goes for the relationships with your school, with your friends outside. If somebody's saying this, but they're doing that, that leads to mixed signals. That's why they say, you walk the walk, you talk the talk. You're supposed to do exactly what you say, and what you're doing should match what you're saying, right? So the last one is not paying attention to the listener, which I feel like we've more or less covered. If you're not acknowledging this person, and obviously they're receiving and noticing that you're acknowledging them, then we've got a little bit of a mixed situation, a confused situation. So what happens when your words don't match your actions? Again, communication becomes unclear, becomes confusing. An example of that would be somebody smiling and saying something angry like that. How do you put those two together? I'm just going to be honest. If I'm sitting at a dinner table with somebody and she starts saying something, oh yeah, I'm feeling really mighty fine today. I don't know. I'm probably going to get a little bit alarmed. I'll back off. To make sure and certain that you are receiving the message accurately, it's important for you to watch the person while they are speaking. Okay. And what are other ways we communicate without our words? We've kind of covered a couple of them, but facial expressions. I've been doing that this whole time. My facial expressions keep changing. Hand gestures. That's another equally important part when you're talking, when you're saying something. Hand gestures are very important. And then obviously body language, kind of like when I was talking about you facing somebody, or even if you're slouched over in your seat, if you're sitting straight up, all that stuff reads different to somebody. It's a different form of interpretation. So right here, I've got a pie chart up, all right? And in this pie chart, we've got obviously the whole 100%, but it's split up, all right? So in green, we have words for 7%. That means 7% of your entire circle, your entire pie chart of communication is just that little. It's not about all the words that are coming out of your mouth. For runner-up number 2, we've got 38%, and that is for how you say it. Have you ever gotten in trouble or told by, usually again, adults, it's not what you said, it's how you said it? Because that breaks down to the visual. Okay, what they're seeing when it comes out of your mouth, the pitch, all right, the pace, the volume of your voice, the amount of emotion that comes from it, and then lastly, the detail high level. Okay. Now, for the first spot, we have a wholesome 55% for nonverbal. So that means more than half of your communication has nothing to do with what is actually being said, whether it's how it's said or what's said. It has nothing to do with this. It has more so to do with how you display yourself, how you carry yourself, okay? So nonverbal, eye contact, posture, okay? Like I was talking about sitting straight up in that seat or being slouched, gestures, and then lastly, facial expressions. Because when someone's talking 9 times out of 10, if you're listening to them, you're looking at them. So all those things are stuff that you are reading, even without it coming into, I guess you could say, your conscious, your subconscious is just reading all those things. All right. So guys, in summary, effective communication involves both speaking clearly and listening well. All right. What's the purpose of effective communication? To understand and to be understood, to learn and to share and to share info and to share experiences. So in essence, although it's not always easy to pay attention to, what a person is saying or when someone is speaking, we have to remember to keep an open mind, because again, we don't want our thoughts, we don't want anything that the person is saying to just slip right by us because our thoughts are somewhere else. We want to be focused. All right. So the more we listen and pay attention, the better opportunity we have to learn, to have choices, and ultimately to allow you to make wiser decisions. All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed our lesson, our first lesson. I hope that you guys have an amazing week, and I look forward to our next lesson. See you guys later.